Hello. My kid kept asking me to do shit and I didn't realize what time it was. That's my bad. I once again look like I'm outside when I am not. I'm just dressed for anything, you know? Who knows what's gonna happen today? Ah, very cozy, yeah. Oh no, I am late, yeah. But thank you for trying to. Misdemeanor canceled again? Yeah, because the reason it was canceled last week is because Laura's on vacation, and it's a 2-week vacation. So, we discussed whether or not, like, those of us who were there should do, like, an RP session or something, but since we don't have that many sessions left, Brett made the call that we should all be there. So, I honestly do not know when our next session is. Because next weekend is Thanksgiving, and I'm pretty sure people aren't going to be there for Thanksgiving weekend. So we'll see. That's true. A bunch of us from Misdemeanor were on the latest Goblins episode. If you've been missing the pirates, what's the plan today? It's Saturday, so we sit, we drink a coffee, we talk about life, and then I go be a mom. It's a short stream on Saturdays. You got me addicted to Merge Mayor. It's fun, dude. It's legitimately a really fun game. I continue to not have to make much of an effort to have fun in that game. We autofocusing. Okay. There we go. My coffee is also ready. Nice mug. Thank you. Clarky had ballet today. We had a conversation. I don't want to, like, make her feel like she's doing anything wrong, you know? But if you've been here before when I've talked about Clark at ballet, she's very disruptive. She pays attention and she loves class. She just, like, wants to talk to people all the time, even though, you know, they're, like, trying to run a class. And also, she was doing things like she would purposefully untie her shoe and then go to the teacher and be like, tie my shoe, please. It came undone. So, like, I talked to her and I was like, it's the teacher's job to teach the class. If you need something, if your hair falls out, or, you know, if your hair falls out of the ponytail, or if, you know, your shoe needs to be fixed, or if you need water, any of those sorts of things, you can come to me and I can take care of you, and that way the teachers can continue to do class. And she was like, but why? It's like, oh, Clarky, just so desperate. She just wants the attention so bad. She just loves interacting with people. So, but in the end, her shoe legitimately came untied, and she got up and started to walk to the teacher, and then whipped around and ran toward me and was like, Mommy, my shoe. I was like, good memory. You remembered to come to me. Thank you. But that, like, sort of backfired a little bit, because then it turned into, if she was bored at all, because they do a lot of, like, you know, all the kids line up and they one at a time, like, try something, and everybody claps and it's very cute and supportive. But if it wasn't Clark's turn, she was bored and just ran over to me and was like, she came over when they first lined up. She took her turn, and the second she was done with her turn, she ran over and she was like, can I have some water? I was like, sure. And no, this is ballet class. This isn't kindergarten. had a little bit of water, and then she ran back into line, and then immediately ran back over and was like, "Mommy, thank you for the water." I was like, "You're welcome, honey." And then she ran back, and then she sat there for a second, and then she ran back over and was like, "Mommy, I'm bored." And I was like, "Okay, well, you running back and forth is making it really hard for the teacher to like focus on the kid that's trying to do their thing." And I was trying to explain to her, like, doesn't it make you feel really nice when you've taken your turn and everybody claps? And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Well, all of the other kids are taking their turns now. So do you think that we can watch them and pay attention? And then when everybody claps, you can clap too?" And she was like, "Yeah." So she sat on my lap and we watched the rest of the kids and we clapped. So it was cute. You know what was like big brain though for a kid? I'm gonna say this and you're gonna be like, but any of you who have kids around this age, I thought this was so big brain of her. So at the end of class, they do this cute thing where they're like, they have a little box that they call the fairy box. And at the end of class, they say, "I wonder what the fairies brought us today." And there's always like a tiny little thing of glitter. And all of the kids get like a little bit of glitter on their hands to do this with. So they have a little bit of glitter and they call it fairy dust. So all the kids get to go home with like fairy dust on their hands. And the teacher today, so there's the main teacher and then there's kind of like the teacher's assistant, and the teacher's assistant was running class today, who I actually adore. I think she's awesome. She was like, "FYI parents, I'm putting as little as possible on their hands because we know how glitter is." And we were all like, "Thank you." But Clark like lined up to get her glitter and then was like, and ran over to me. So a big issue we've had every time she gets the glitter on her hands is that she comes back over and then she has to put on her jacket. And she's always super worried that the jacket's gonna rub the glitter away, right? So she lined up to get the glitter on her hands, and then she went and ran over to me and she was like, "Mommy, I need my jacket on." And I was like, "You want the jacket on first?" She was like, "Yeah, so that it won't mess up the glitter." And I was like, "That's very smart. Absolutely, we'll put your jacket on now. That will also make it way easier for us to get the fuck out of here the second you have glitter on your hands." Yeah, I was like, that was quite big brain for a 3-year-old. I also had a 2-sentence conversation with another parent at ballet class. We're basically best friends. It's true. I didn't think of that. Every single class we have this issue, and I never thought to myself, I should just put on her jacket first. Never thought that. But it like dawned on her. I saw the moment that she was like, "Oh," like booked it to me. I find talking to other parents so difficult. Me too. Because Sam and I talk a lot about like, when we're feeling like lonely and stuff. And he was like, "Well, I mean, do you feel like, I know you've met a couple of the parents at preschool. Is there anybody at ballet that seems like they're cool that like you might want to chat with and see if you vibe?" And I was like, maybe. But I was sitting next to one of the parents who I've always thought had like a really chill vibe to them. We were sitting next to each other, and both of our kids, there was a point where they were supposed to be like stretching, like have their toes out. Like, imagine these are my legs, your legs like this on the ground, and then your arms like reaching for either toe, and both of our kids like could not figure out what the fuck they were supposed to do. Clark was in the fetal position, like head down, like doing this. I was like, what is going on? And her kid had completely stood up in class. Everybody was on the ground. Her kid was just standing, and we were like, what is happening? I was like, it's actually so fun to watch them try and figure out what they're supposed to do when it's like multiple moving parts and they've obviously like lost the thread somewhere, and they're like, wait, what am I doing? And they just like concoct a whole new thing. It's so funny. And she was like, it is really funny to watch. I work as a nanny for a 5-month-old. It's so crazy to see how they start to figure things out seemingly overnight, even when they're so young. It's so fun. Honestly, it's what keeps me going. Parenting can be really rough sometimes. But like interacting with my kid and having a moment of, you weren't doing that like a couple days ago. This is new. This is like a brand new thing that you've figured out while asleep. It's amazing. Do you guys remember last year? Do you take videos of her in ballet class? They ask us not to, which I get. They ask us not to just because there's so many kids in there, and it's impossible to, on each given day, like make sure that all of the kids and parents are like consenting to having their kids filmed and potentially posted somewhere, you know? Which I really appreciate because, again, I'm really paranoid about our privacy and people being like, I recognize that kid, I watch that streamer, etc. So we're all asked not to take pictures or videos during class. So I have no pictures of her in class, but it's very cute. Trust, it's very cute in class. Yeah, that's fair. I think given our occupation and our situation, it is the perfect amount of security measures, you know. But do you guys remember last year I was like, I found this recipe for pumpkin hand pies and I really want to make them. I think that this is going to be my happy medium here. So I had said, like, I really want to make a huge Thanksgiving meal for everybody in the family. And once again, because I also said this last year, once again, I'm starting to be like, that is out of my grasp. I don't want to do that. I had invited Sam's parents over on Thanksgiving to have dinner with us. And it was kind of a situation of like, because I asked them like really recently. So I was like, I don't know if you guys are doing anything. It's no trouble if not. But if you guys are free, do you want to come over for Thanksgiving? And they were like, I mean, we have stuff going on until like late afternoon, like work and things, like stuff that can't really be moved around. But they were like, we'll come in the evening. That's totally fine. I was like, okay, yeah, you know what, whatever works. And so I said that to Sam last night, and then Sam goes, oh, I should probably tell you then. I was like, what? He goes, well, I was a little worried. I know that you've been like really sad about not being able to go home and all of this other stuff. And like, I know Thanksgiving's going to be weird. So I invited Joe and Dave back over for Friendsgiving this weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend. And I was like, really? He was like, yeah. So, I mean, we can do 2 dinners if you want, but they can't be here until Saturday. And I was like, okay. He was like, are you okay? So we decided to do everything on Saturday now, which is nice. It gives me a little bit of extra time. But I was like, this might be perfect because this way I can try to, before Thursday, maybe make a bunch of these pumpkin hand pies out of the puree I made. and then I can drop those off at houses on Thanksgiving. And then not worry about like dinner and like a full-on like normal pumpkin pie until Saturday. I know. I cried a lot. But I'm very excited. And I told Clarky, I was like, do you remember Joe and Dave? They're gonna come over, not this weekend, but next weekend. And she was like, really? I agree. We're both very lucky. One of the things Google recommended I write content about was, are Sam and Dodger still together? And I was in stitches. I can't remember. A long time ago, somebody came into chat and was like, are you still with Sam? And I was like, yeah, we have a child. We are married with a baby. It just seems like a weird way to ask that question. Well, we didn't have chickens at the time. I don't mind, are you still making content? I think, are you guys still together implies like, I know eventually you won't be. I'm just curious if this has already happened. There's a weird, to me, there's a weird subtext there of like, have you broken up yet? You know? So there's still work being done on the house. It's just slow going. And fortunately, it's all like on the outside of the house. So it's nothing that we have to bother with. I just like make the guy tea occasionally. Like whenever I see him, I just ask if he wants a drink or something because he's just outside all day. But we went into the living room after ballet and we're just like chilling. And I look out the window and he's just there in the window. And it fucking terrified me. And I was like, like I didn't realize that you were even here. Because he was behind like a bush, like working on part of the house that was behind a bush. And so when we like drove in, I didn't see him. And I was like, oh, maybe he's taking the day off, right? No, he was there. He was just hidden. Yeah, we've adopted him. He's like 80, but he's part of the family now. Thank you. I like this hat. Clarky steals this hat sometimes. Yeah, we started a game studio. It's very, very slow going because it's we're learning a lot about what goes into making games and figuring out, you know, like where we fit into the pipeline of making a game and what we want to do and all kinds of stuff. So to be honest, it'll probably be like a couple of years before anything is like showable, you know? But it's fun. Because, you know, Jesse and I aren't... We were talking with somebody and they were like, is this like a vanity project? Like, are you guys doing this because you really want to be able to say, like, I've made a game, you know? And Jesse and I were talking about it, and we're both just like, I would be totally fine with making a game and nobody knowing that I even made it. I just, like, really want to make a game. I just love games and have played a bunch of them, and I have ideas for games, and, you know, we both just like making things. So, but the big sticking point is that, you know, we're not trained to make games. So recognizing our limitations, what we need to learn, you know, getting good people involved who have put in the hours and know their shit, and can ask like hard questions of us and stuff like that. It is a Disco Elysium, but I'm so shocked every time somebody recognizes that. It is. I feel like it's so like convoluted from there, you know. Somebody was like, well, I mean, are you guys interested in learning how to program, like how to build a game? And I was like, yeah. I don't have the time to do that. But yeah, I am interested in that. That might be an endeavor for future Dodger, you know, when I don't have a child. I mean, I'll always have a child, but like, you know, when I don't have a child that requires quite as much attention. I'm making boozy upside down peach cake next week. That sounds amazing. Yeah, when instead of a child, I have an adult. Yeah, exactly. Perfect, yeah. Maybe Clark will want to make games. Oh my god. My little entomologist. So she was sitting, waiting for, I was making breakfast, and she was like, just sitting and chilling, and I found a ladybug, in the kitchen, and I was like, oh, Clarky, look, a ladybug, and she came over and she very gently, like, took it and put it on her finger, and was just watching it walk around, and then was like, I'm gonna go in the living room. I was like, okay. She went into the living room, I went to check on her, and she was just sitting there, like, tapping it really softly, like, petting the ladybird while she watched TV. It was so cute. And at a certain point it started flying, and she was like, Mommy, it's flying and it won't stop. And I went in there and the ladybird was literally just like flying in circles, and the second I got close enough, it just landed right here on my face, and I was like, is it on my face, Clark? And she was like, yeah. I was like, okay, it can stay there for a minute. Literally just let it stay on my face while I cleaned the rest of the kitchen. And eventually it got annoyed. You're powerful for letting it stay on your face. I mean, it's a ladybug, so you don't really feel it move. Yes, Telly! I love her. Oh my god, she's one of my favorite people on TikTok. Do you remember where you got the hat? I think Sainsbury's. I did not make this hat. Nope. But I got it like a year and a half ago or something. Sainsbury's sold hats. Sainsbury's has like a whole clothing section, yeah. Yeah, and her Telly's talking about, there's a person on autism, oh my god, there's a person on TikTok who has autism, and like one of her special interests is she adores bugs and art, and she does art of bugs that is so incredible, like really realistic and beautiful. And she's just like, she gets so excited about bugs. And her content's just fantastic. But every time she's like, oh yeah, this is like art I did of this type of bug, I'm always blown away at how good it looks, like how incredible it is. Because it basically just looks like there's a bug there. I can't remember, and I don't have my phone. Telly might know though. The name of the creator. I want to see the pretty art. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Nicole Parrish, I think. Let me see. Yes, Nicole Parrish. At Sound of the Forest. You were right. Crushed it. I met a friend 5 years ago that really loves bugs. I've learned to like moths, but I still can't stand it when they fly near me. That's fair. Yeah, her art's amazing. Yeah, I adore moths. But I totally understand why people get freaked out by them. Yeah, I love them too. I thought you said mods. I love mods, but yeah, I really hate when mods start, you know, moving around all squirrely. I know! Clarky and I keep watching videos of jumping spiders and looking at their little, like, the pet enclosures that people make for them. They're so cute. People keep making them like little tree houses and stuff. Oh my god. And every time Clarky and I are like, is it time? Clark finally, oh my god. So last time we talked about the isopods, I was saying like it sucks because it's really hard to spot them. Once the light is on, they kind of vanish, like they scurry away. Clarky has a terrarium that we bought her that has a bunch of isopods in it, but she never sees them. I see them occasionally because, well, I'm quiet. And I also try to like look for them when the light is pretty dim. I try not to, you know, do anything like sudden. And somebody, last time I talked about this, somebody was like, I wonder if there's a type of light that they don't really notice all that much, because ants are like that. And apparently you can put a red light on ants and they don't recognize it. So you can observe ants better in red light because they don't notice it. So Clark's little nightlight is purple. Isopods like wood lice. Yes, yeah. Her little nightlight glows purple, and she woke up really early this morning, and I was like, oh, Clarky, we should try to use your nightlight. And look in your terrarium and be really quiet and look in the terrarium, see if we can spot one of the isopods, and it totally worked. She got to see one of the dairy cows, and it didn't move. It just sat there. It was just chilling. So she got to like watch one of the dairy cows for a while. It was really cute. I was like, yes, we did it. And I finally saw the orange one again. But that one's swirly. I never see it. Yeah, one of the dairy cows is pretty big. There's one that I've seen that's smaller, and I don't know if, because people in chat were like, oh, well, they'll definitely have babies in there. I don't know if it's like, if it's just growing still, or if it's a newer one. I don't know. Yeah, they're cool. They're really fun. Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out like how that gets balanced out in the terrarium. If they have babies, how does that balance it? So like, how does the ecosystem keep that balance? Because some people were saying they live for a decent amount of time as well. So I'm like, if they're having a bunch of babies in there, is there enough space? They eat each other? Do they actually? That's very sad. Lots of times with insects, not all eggs are viable and the unhatched eggs are eaten. Oh, interesting. These are probably questions that I could email to the person who made the terrarium and be like, what are things I should watch out for? Are there situations in which I need to make adjustments to this terrarium? I loved your stream with Bree. Don't forget to empty your toaster tray. I already have. Way ahead of you, bud. Yeah, I love streaming with Bree. I definitely want to do that more. I feel like we bounce off each other really well. It's fun. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that, because Bree and I have talked before about like how much fun we have streaming together, even though we've only been able to do it a couple of times. So I'm glad that we're also fun to watch. That's great. Yeah, again, that's a question that I would want to ask Free for sure. I don't know how I feel about this checklist that is starting to grow for all of us. It used to just be change your sheets, chat. And now it's turned into change your sheets, and also, you know, if it's been like half a year to a year since you've looked at it, wash out your dishwasher filter. If you eat a lot of toast, maybe check your toaster tray. Too many rules. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick to sheets. Hey, when's the last time you changed your sheets? You don't have to answer that in chat, but like, think about it. Maybe change your sheets. Hey, and also, if you want a hack from a parent that can easily be applied to adults, you could just put like 4 fitted sheets on top of each other on your bed, and then just take the top layer off if that feels more achievable for you. Just saying. The gunk seeps into all of the sheets. It's better than just not changing your sheets, chat. I'm trying to offer options. Obviously, the best option is to just have one layer of everything and wash it. But if you're like, I hit too many brain rat days and I don't know if I'm ever gonna do that, on a day when you're feeling pretty all right, maybe just put like 4 fitted sheets on there. That's all I'm saying. Start wearing sheets. Oh my god. Put a mattress protector between each fitted sheet. So yeah, so with Clark, when she started potty training, I was told like a thing to just like save a headache is if it's in your means, just get like 3 fitted sheets and 3 mattress protectors, like wet protectors, and just layer them. Wet protector sheet, wet protector sheet, wet protector sheet. And if it's a bad night and they're just like, they're just wetting the bed a bunch, all you have to do is just take off the first layer and be like, get back in bed, I love you. Oh, I have those on Rowan's bed because she pukes all the time. Oh, poor thing. Mattress protectors are loud. Some of them are. Yeah, that's true. What, this? They do go together nicely. Oh, my cat used to pee the bed a lot because of UTIs. We have 4 extra mattress protectors. Poor baby. The coffee has lasted a long time. Mine? Oh yeah, I drink really slow. Last day for the cards. Last day to sign up for cards. Any interesting food things happening in the house for Thanksgiving other than pumpkin hand pies? I mean, I'm gonna try to make green bean casserole the way that we make it back in America. So green bean casserole, mash, turkey. The things that I want to make ahead of time are the cranberry sauce and the pumpkin pie, the like actual pumpkin pie. I want to try to make those things ahead of time. Candied yams, even though I won't eat them. And my mom's salad, if I can find the things for that, so. Gianni, what a good name. Do you have one of those heater thingies under the cup? No. It's like warm. It's not hot anymore, but. Do you have one of, does Clarky like Thanksgiving? She doesn't, I mean, she's had one Thanksgiving in her life, and it was when she was a baby, basically, so. So she has no opinions about Thanksgiving. Aww. I keep thinking about doing, I keep thinking about planting garlic, because this is kind of like the tail end of when you're able to plant garlic, if you're interested in doing that. I keep thinking about doing that, because I have an empty box. But what I'd really like to do is dump all of the old soil out of it, and then in the bottom put some like go on a woodland walk somewhere and grab a bunch of like sticks and things, put a bunch of sticks and stuff, and then layer it with I have some of the chicken poop that I saved in a little bucket. I know that sounds yucky, but it's really good fertilizer. If I put that at the like very bottom and then put the old soil on top, if I understand correctly, I think the chicken poop would help keep the soil warm while the garlic is growing, and it would also like help break down the wood and stuff over time, and it would just like make a richer soil. I think I kind of want to try it. And it would just be nice to be able to use that big old bucket of chicken poop. If they poop in it, the high nitrogen would burn the roots. Well, they're not going to poop in the box. The boxes are about this deep. So I would put a layer of the poop at the very bottom of the box, and then a bunch of normal soil. So. It's been 0 days since our last discussion about poop. You know it. Yeah, I still have yet to find wild garlic. I thought you were putting the box in the coop. No. I have, my dad, when I first got the chickens, he was like, you should save some of that poop. He was like, you should save some of that poop. Because it's like one of the best fertilizers that you can get, but you can't use it like directly out of the chicken's butt. You know, you have to like let it sit for a while. And he was like, so you should just start storing some of it. And I was like, I don't know where I'm going to put it, but okay, Dad. So I did. And now I'm going, well, maybe that could be a use for it, is to do the process where you have a box that you plan to grow something in, and, you know, put like big pieces of wood and things at the bottom. Basically create like a composting layer at the very bottom, and then put a bunch of just regular ass soil on top. So, sure. The poop also is mixed in with they're like nesting material, you know, which is also perfectly good to put in there. Don't use ass soil. What if I do? Who's gonna stop me? I'm gonna make poop garlic whether you like it or not, chat. I'm a newish viewer. Why did you leave the US? Welcome, first off. I hope you're having a great day. I left the US because my husband is from here. He's also a streamer. His name is Sam. And Sam came to America quite a few years ago. And we got together, and he was in America for years. But the whole time that he was in America, he really missed his family. He has a really tight-knit family. And we got pregnant and had our kid. And I think that was like the final thing for him that was like, I would really like to go home. And when we got married, I had said to him, hey, you know, you've given up a lot for me. You've always put me first. I'm never going to forget that, you know? So if you want to go, then we'll just go. No questions asked. Of course we'll go home for you. So, yeah, at a certain point, he wanted to come back home, so we left. But now you are sad? It is what it is. We moved and then there was a plague. We moved and then there was a plague. I haven't been able to visit. I haven't been able to like spend any quality time with anybody, you know, back home. It's been a rough couple of years for everybody, whether they moved or not, you know? I'm not about to be like, this was a mistake. I don't think it was. I think Clarky is really happy out here. I think that we're really blessed to have as much family out here as we do. And all of these lovely little cousins that I get to be, you know, a fun, weird auntie with. It's just, you know, we got set back quite a bit when it comes to getting settled because it was impossible to like try and really put down roots here when everything was sort of on fire. So also, nearly everybody that moves somewhere needs a couple years. That's very normal. To need like a couple of years or more to feel like the new place you're in is home. So. Do you think he'll ever move back to LA? To LA? No. I really did not like LA when I moved there. And pretty much the whole time that I was in LA, I was thinking to myself, one day I'm gonna leave this fucking rat city. But I made incredible friends out there, and I got a lot of amazing opportunities while I was out there, and I'm so glad that I went. I never thought I would be there for 10 years. I didn't even think I was going to be there for 2 or 3 years. I thought it was going to be like a 1-year thing. But it was a huge chunk of my life that I was out there. And I think it shows, you know? But I'm glad to not be living there anymore. I miss things other than the city, you know? Where would you move? If we were moving to America? Oregon, because that's where my family is. If we were going to move back to America, the reason to move would be to be near family again, you know? Is it weird having different sleep schedules? My girlfriend is thinking of taking a night job. I'm not sure how it will impact stuff. It's very weird. Yeah, you have to like specify time to spend together. And you might find that when you are wide awake and, you know, alert and living your life and doing the day shit, that if for some reason your partner has to be awake, she might be really fucking tired. And it's really easy to, because your brain is saying, you know, it's daytime, it's do stuff time. It's really easy to misconstrue that as other things other than just they're tired. So yeah, it is weird. It is weird, but you just have to put in the effort to make sure that you make time for each other. I'm on episode like 9 of Misdemeanor, and I think Alice is the perfect sassy brat. Thank you. I'm so glad you feel that way. Go Ducks! Oregonians know. We deliberately schedule a side time that is awake time, that is ours. It helps. Yeah. Yeah, it's really nice to like clearly figure out like expectations for like, when am I gonna spend time with you, you know? I have a friend who does shift work. It's tricky. It's frustrating. He can't make group things, or when he does, he's half asleep, or he's leaving to go to bed at 6. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's rough. It is rough. Every single time Sam goes to do something with a family member, they almost always will be like, you look really fucking tired. And all Sam can say is, yeah, that's because I am. You know, like, yeah. And again, that's what I mean when I say like, it's really easy for you as like the other person in the hangout to misconstrue that as like, as something else, you know, as like them not caring enough about your relationship, or like etc etc, or like just, or you know, but they're just tired. They're just living a different life than you are and still trying to be able to make time for people and see people and do things, you know. And in our situation, we have a kid. Like, Sam's tired all the time. It just is what it is. If he wants to, you know, get up earlier to do things with people or to see people or make time for things, yeah, potentially he's going to show up and be tired. So again, like, managing those expectations and like communicating is going to help a lot. I like this song. Yeah, we have business internet now. Dun, 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 dun. Do people who do night shifts eat at 3 a.m.? Because that gives me tummy aches. Yeah. Sam, normally, like, when we're eating lunch, that's like Sam's breakfast. And then we have like an earlier dinner, like 5-6 o'clock-ish dinner. That's like a lunch. And then if I'm still awake around midnight, 1 o'clock, Sam will be like, hey, I'm making something or I'm ordering something. Do you want anything? And if I'm a dum-dum, I'll go, yeah, sure. And then I'll eat it and then I'll have nightmares all night. So I'm learning to start saying, no, thank you. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, like, yes, we are planning on finding a place to buy. But, you know, again, that might not be for a long time. We might see a million houses before then, so. Oh, yeah. If I was gonna say that there's, like, something that I miss a lot since having a kid and also since being in England, so this is like a Venn diagram, like this is a big crossover, is going out to eat at a 24-hour diner in the middle of the night. Cannot do that anymore. Can't just on a whim be like, do you want to go get a 2-egg breakfast with me at 1 a.m.? Can't do that anymore. We have a child. And also, there are no diners in this country. This is why it's the Venn diagram. McDonald's is not a diner. That is not what I want. No, I want a diner. I want a diner, guys. I'm not just looking for 24-hour food. I'm looking for a diner. No, not a pub. I want a diner. I will keep repeating it if you want to keep suggesting things that aren't diners. They're a really American thing. They're an American, they're a very like Americana vibe of place to eat. A lot of them are 24 hours. The coffee that you can get at a diner is what my Dodger coffee is based off of in flavor profile. I don't even know really how to describe what a diner is, but I can guarantee you that generally that vibe is not here. I've been to one place in England that was kind of similar, but it wasn't it. There's one Denny's in Cardiff. Oh my god. I'm willing to go to a Denny's just to pretend. Okay, if you wanna come in here and shit on diners, you can go, 'cause it's my favorite food in the world. Diner food is my favorite food in the world, not because it's delicious, but because there's a nostalgic feel to it that I just adore. This is why I'm saying that I oftentimes will be like, I just wish there was a fucking diner in this country. If I've never been there before, I look for their 2-egg breakfast. Every diner's got one. It'll be 2 eggs, however you want them, with bacon, hash browns, which, by the way, I have also never been anywhere in this country where they make hash browns the way they make them in America for some reason, where it's just a bunch of shredded potato and like a big patty. It's always like a kind of a skew on the McDonald's style, where it's like a thick, like a croquette basically, but made of potato. It's just different in America, but it makes sense. They're different countries. Anyways, 2 eggs however you want them. Bacon, hash browns, toast. And sometimes that's it. I always get that. Just to see. What's it like? A coffee, also, yes. A coffee and a water. That's what we would always say. We'd sit down. I'd say, I'll have a coffee and a water, please. It is similar to a full English, but it's not. I shouldn't say that it's not the same, because that's not helpful, but they are similar, but not the same. Yeah. Making your own hash browns is a pain, trying to get them dry enough. Yeah. You shred the potatoes, you put them in cheesecloth, you squeeze. You leave them, maybe you squeeze them again. You rinse them, get some of the starch off, you squeeze them again. Nightmare. But fuck, they're good. Yeah, that's so true. Marian said the thing some people in chat might not know is food is the one thing I found that makes you miss home the most. The more similar it looks and tastes different, the worse it can feel. That's so true. And I think this is also similar to when we were talking about how I was saying I started feeling the most homesick whenever I went to the grocery store. Because I would go to the shops to get our groceries and everything looked different. And obviously my brain is like, it's bread, right? Or like, it's a can of beans. Like, it's the same stuff. There's nothing different about what's inside, but everything just looked totally different. And it was a constant reminder of like, you're not in America anymore, right? Like, you're in a different place. In the US, I'd get a tomato sauce pasta and would be like, why is it different? Yeah. That was for a lot of people, I think, but because I live with Sam, I was going to specify it to Sam, but yeah, there's a reason that Sam constantly complained about the bread, right? Because he loves bread, but the bread in America tasted different. And it was like a constant reminder to him every time he had the bread. Like, I just wish I was back in England eating bread in England, you know? But yeah. Anyway, shout out to anybody else who's made a big move and feels out of sorts when they eat sometimes. This is why I'm trying so hard to make green bean casserole that tastes how I want it to taste. if it tasted how it tastes when I'm home, I'd probably just start crying and make everybody really uncomfortable. But I'm gonna try anyway because it would just be so great. I don't remember ever eating bread in America. I've only just realized that. Interesting. Yeah, when Sam was in America, we found like an English import store where they made meat pies. And so Sam would buy a bunch of meat pies from that place every time we went because there was just nowhere else to get those anywhere in America. Well, not anywhere in America, but like anywhere near where we lived. Anywho. How's Dodger Coffee going? Yeah, it's great. I mean, Dodger Coffee itself is doing great. It's still pretty small, but that's okay. And Akira Coffee, which is the umbrella company that, full disclosure, I am a partner of and I own part of. Akira Company runs like My Favorite Coffee and Top of the Morning Coffee, which is Jacksepticeye's coffee line, and that does gangbusters. It's incredible. So like overall, like Akira Coffee in general is doing great. But Dodger Coffee on its own, yeah, is trucking. It's doing good. I'm glad you like the raspberry tea. I think I got bit on my neck. It's like kind of an itchy spot right here. I always have such a hard time finding teas I like. Do you like more like sweet teas or like earthy teas or? That we have a newly opened burger restaurant called Brookie's. I'll take credit for that. Thank you. All teas can be sweet teas with enough sugar. That is true. I'm chilling so hard. I'm starting to get sleepy. When we got in the car after ballet, Clark was looking a little droopy. So I was like, do you want my phone? Do you want to like play a game on my phone or something while we drive? And she was like, sure. And she was silent like basically the entire time that we were driving home. And I, when I got home, I looked in the back and she was awake, but she was like just awake, like on the phone, like Looking like she was about to just pass out. She was comfy. But then she was really excited to eat McDonald's, so. Basically, every time we go to ballet, the second we get in the car, she's like, can we get McDonald's? Because we drive by it. We drive by it on the way home. And so it's like basically become a tradition now that we go to ballet and then immediately go to McDonald's. So the other day you said Gabby's Dollhouse was a cute show, so I put it in for my niece and she loved it. Yes. It's very cute, isn't it? Yeah. I am the DJ catnip of this house, apparently. Whenever we like play Gabby's Dollhouse, Clark is Mercat and Sam is Cat Rat and I'm DJ Catnip. Have you and Clark seen Bluey? Is it good? Oh, Bluey's amazing. Bluey's one of the best kids shows out there right now. Cause it's like, it's for kids, but it's for adults, you know, like it's for parents and it's for kids, but it's for parents, you know, it's really, really good. Is it weird that I don't like coffee, but I like coffee flavored things? I don't think that's weird. That's interesting, though. Are you planning on watching live action Cowboy Bebop? Yeah, when does that come out? Oh, it's already out? There you go. I would love to watch it. We sing Lemon and a Drop of Honey all the time. And mix in a dash of lemon and a drop of honey. Lemon and a drop of honey. Where can you watch Bluey? It's on Disney Plus here, but it's an Australian show. It's very good. My kid was like, Mommy, can dogs talk? And I was like, no. I mean, they can communicate, but they don't communicate with talking like we do. And she was like, but the dogs in Bluey talk. And I was like, right. The dogs in Bluey also have jobs and cook food in the kitchen and do all sorts of other things that doggies do not do. And she was like, yeah. I am wearing my knitting loom scarf. This is the scarf we made. It's very cute. I am not like emotionally invested at all in Cowboy Bebop, so I haven't been sitting around stewing about whether or not it's going to be good. I'll be able to just casually watch it, I think. Same one I use almost every day. It's called Video Game Study Lounge. Yeah, we keep running into an issue because we did make Clarky a scarf, and we keep running into an issue where, like, some of it will unravel, and I keep being like, what is happening? What's going on here? Why is it unraveling? And I can't figure out if, like, I'm doing something wrong. So I need to remake it again. This will be my 3rd time making it. No, it's along the outside, which means that something about the top stitch that I'm doing before I cast off on hers is not working, because this one is fine. This one has not unraveled whatsoever. And I've, you know, I stretch it over my head and do whatever with it, so I'm not sure. Checking in while I make cinnamon buns. Oh my god. Jealous. Code Dark. Welcome to the Cat Gang. Thank you so much.
Fine, cat-loving, coffee-drinking burrito babe.
No, Thanksgiving is this coming up Thursday. So I got a lot of pumpkin hand pies to make, dude. This stream has captions. That's awesome. We do, yeah. If you do !CC, you can follow that link and find the plugin that we use. But on that website, it also explains how to turn it off if you're on PC or mobile or whatever, if you don't want them on. But with PC, I think there's literally a CC button that you can click to turn it off and on. No, pumpkin hand pies. So like pies that you hold with your hand. Wookie, thank you very much for the gifted sub. And Jessica for the gifted sub as well. Thank you both. Welcome to the Cat Gang, whoever received those subs. Made using only the freshest pumpkin hands. True. Oh my god, I went to the store and there's a bunch of... The grocery store that's really close to us, there's a bunch of cooking pumpkins that are on like super sale, and I was like, I could buy a few more. I could buy a few more and make more pumpkin puree. What if I need more, you know? This song is Hyrule Temple by T. Lopes or Lopez. Dun, 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 dun. What did Malthun say? Pumpkin pies with baked in hands sounds like a gruesome Halloween treat. No, I didn't make this hat. I bought this hat like 1.5 years ago. Oh yeah, Sam said that it's a re-release, right, of Diamond and Pearl. Is that what they're doing in Nuzlocke of currently? That would make a lot of sense. Chew. Do you think you'll ever sell another product that isn't coffee or standard merch? What do you mean? I very recently put out a puzzle. I don't think that that's super standard. I didn't even know about the puzzle. Puzzle. Yeah, we made a jigsaw puzzle. It's really high quality. The pieces are like really interesting shapes. It's super fun. So check it out if you like jigsaw puzzles. I love jigsaw puzzles. Bye, Jerry Reg. I'm working on the puzzle at the moment. It's been a bunch since I did a physical one. Yeah, that's fair. Irregular merch like t-shirts with 3 sleeves. Ask and you shall receive. Yeah, the pitch for it was like if Dodger Coffee had a diner, and the puzzle itself is like a hide and seek of a bunch of cats, and there are cats like hidden all over the puzzle. So that was the concept. And Javi did the art for it, who is a lovely artist, and I think it turned out fantastic. So I'll add it to my birthday wish list because I know I'm getting overspoiled for Christmas. That's very cute. Oh my god, my kid did like the 3-year-old version of gluing a puzzle together. So I gave her, so I have a big puzzle mat that comes with kind of like extra little sleeve bits that go inside. And recently she's wanted to do puzzles all the time. So I was like, I'll just give you one of the sleeve bits and that can be like your puzzle mat, right? Because kid puzzles are pretty small generally. So I gave her one, and we were doing puzzles on it. And each time she finished one, she wanted to save it. So we would finish one and then we would gently slide it onto the floor somewhere, and then we'd do the next one and gently slide it onto the floor. And then I was like, I'm gonna go make some coffee. So I went into the kitchen and I heard her messing with tape. You know the tape sound. And I was like, what are you doing, honey? And she was like, I'm taping my puzzle together. And I was like, because, depending on the tape, that could ruin the pieces. So I like mom power walked back into the living room. I was like, oh, you're using I see what type of tape you're using. And she was like, yeah. And she was just putting tape around the outside edge, like a frame. It was very cute. And I was like, okay, we can do this for now, but I think if we leave it for too long, it might start to rip up bits of like the design on the puzzle pieces, okay? So we're not gonna leave it on for too long. And she was like, okay. And then we forgot about it. And had kind of a hectic night, and I went downstairs and I was like, okay, the living room needs to be reset, right? Reset doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be like usable for the next day in a way that isn't gonna stress Samurai out. So I was putting stuff away and I was like, the puzzles. The tape came off of like the first 3 just fine. And then the very last one, it like was just pulling up little bits of, it was, this is really cute, like one that's like a nighttime picture of a polar bear with a kid riding on its shoulders and they're ice skating, and it's very cute. The tape was like pulling up little bits of the night sky, but it kind of worked because there are stars So it just sort of looks like there are weird clumps of stars on the edges. So I was like, I think it's okay. Fan from YouTube who just discovered your Twitch. What's the name of your new game studio? 6040. Also, hi. How are you? I'm glad you found us. Yeah, it's called 6040. I was just talking earlier that, like, you know, people always ask, like, what are you working on? When are we going to see stuff? And I was saying it might be a couple of years. But yeah, Jesse and I started a thing, and it's been really fun, and we're learning a ton. My ears are starting to hurt from being, like, forced down. How long did it take you to come up with the name? 5 seconds. We've been goofing about using that name for stuff for years. It's, for anybody who's about to ask, it's a reference to, the pay split that we had when we first started YouTube, or when we were first able to be paid for our gaming content. The split was 60-40. So it's a reference to, like, where we started, basically. But a long time ago, a big group of us all met, like a huge group of us all met in LA, and we were talking about putting together basically an office space, like what we wound up working in, but this was like years earlier. We were all talking about, like, making a collaborative, like, workspace for all of us to work from. And at the time, everybody who was in that group talking was also somebody who started a 60-40 split. So all of us were like, we could, if we did this, if we made this, we could call it 60-40. And we thought that that was so funny. So that name has been, like, floating around for 7 or 8 years. Yeah. No, this was pre-Twitch. This was YouTube. Our YouTube split. We took 60%. I want to do what we've been trying to do, which is, like, talking about the games that I played this last week. So typically now I play a different game every stream. This last week was Sherlock Holmes week, so it was a little different. But I have Sherlock Holmes that I can talk about a little bit, and I have Escape Simulator that I can talk about, but we only got to play that for like an hour. Escape Simulator, super cute. Really fun. I really want to try to do Escape Simulator is an escape room, co-op escape room game, where people can make their own escape rooms. So they're like community rooms that you can download through the workshop, which I think is really cool. And we haven't done any of the community rooms yet, but we really want to. So yeah, that was really fun. Bree and I played that together. We definitely want to play more. And again, that was like a really short stream, sadly, because Bree's internet started acting up. But what are you gonna do? So, oh, no, don't start updating. I'm streaming, you goofball. No, we haven't beaten Sherlock. And I honestly don't know how far into Sherlock Holmes we are right now. But I will try to keep this as spoiler-free as possible. So, Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1, they really tried to like switch up the formula with this one, aside from the fact that they're like, Sherlock is younger, right? It's young Sherlock Holmes. It's also more of an open world game. And I actually really enjoy that. They have lots of different ways for you to use your skills to like find out about things going on in the town and sort of like take them on as cases. All of that sort of stuff, honestly, I think is the most fun part of the game. The side stuff, super, super fun. I could literally just only do that stuff and have a blast. Unfortunately, and I've been trying to figure out, while I've been streaming this game, I've been trying to figure out how to describe what it is that's so confusing about the mechanics. They're just like, it's sort of convoluted what you are expected to do at any given point in this game. It is not super clear what you need to do in certain situations. So the game has like an icon system. So say that you've taken on a case, you can pin evidence or pin like part of a case in order to focus on that thing. And so if you are like looking for something specific or someone specific or anything like that, you have to have the right thing pinned. You have to, otherwise you can't find it. But apart from that, it also has symbols like there's an eyeball symbol and there's like a location symbol, right? There's all of these other things that you, as you play, it doesn't really explain this to you, but as you play, you realize like, okay, the eyeball symbol means I need to use my like equivalent of Witcher sense. I need to like see beneath the underneath, right? To find something. One of them is like a dot, like an ellipses, which implies you need to talk to somebody. And then a location is like you need to go somewhere, right? And there have been multiple times where it's said that I needed to talk to somebody, but I didn't. Right? Or like it said that I needed to look for something, but it turned out I needed to do something else before I started looking for something, right? So it gives you all of these mechanics that you can do that are interesting on their own, but because they're all smushed together, each step of the way, it's like it takes so long to get through a case because every step of the way I'm going, so what does it need me to do? Right? Like, what am I supposed to do here? Am I looking for evidence now? Am I supposed to talk to people? Do I have the right piece of evidence pinned? Because if I don't, and I start talking to people, they aren't going to respond to me anyway. There's so many bits like that. There we go. Sorry, chat was like, paused for a second there. But yeah, it's sort of convoluted. It's not really intuitive. And again, there are bits about the way it plays that I think are interesting. The combat, I hate the combat. I think it's terrible. I can tell what they were trying to do with it. And I think that there is a nugget of something interesting and fun there, but it's really frustrating in the moment. Really frustrating. There's a mechanic with the combat where like they might have armor on, and in order for them to actually take any damage, you have to get rid of all of the armor. Potentially one of the pieces of armor is like right here. Twice I went to shoot that piece of armor off and the game was like, you shot them in the head and they're dead now. Bear in mind, you can murder people, but you get more out of it if you arrest people, if you just like knock them out, basically. So I would get like a decent ways through this combat where people just kept showing up, and I was like, why are there so many fucking people here ready to shoot me suddenly? And this one fucking guy, I would try to shoot off the armor on his eyes and just shoot him in the head. It was awful. So yeah, the combat is rough. It is not fun, I don't think. I think it's the beginning of fun combat, but it never reached the point where it's actually fun combat. I do not like it. And considering that it has like a whole part of the game that you can do that's basically like waves of enemies, I tried to do it and I was like, no thank you. No, I think I'm good. I think I'm all right. And then in terms of content, I actually really like this Sherlock. My biggest criticism, and again, I'm trying to keep this as spoiler free as possible, but like my biggest criticism at this point would be that they try to make it so that Sherlock is, he makes assumptions about people based on the time period, right? So for example, at the very start of the game, there's a woman who's like swooned onto the couch, and he's like, women with their delicate sensibility, like just like stupid sexist shit, like they don't have the constitution for a difficult situation, and so he says stuff like that all the time, and I don't have a problem with that. I think that it's interesting to have a character where, the assumption is, oh, well, they understand everything. They get everything. They look at a person, they know everything about them, but like has all of these societal things that are affecting the way that they read people. I think that that's an interesting like layer, especially to a young Sherlock Holmes, right? The problem is if you're gonna have a character who does that, and it's the main character, for that to be for a modern audience, I think you need there to be situations in which that is challenged head on, right? Like, he needs to run into situations where he has those assumptions challenged inside of the story, because otherwise, like, what's the point of putting them in there, right? If he's never going to have any pushback to that, then it's in there for no reason. So that is my current feelings. I would love for that to be the case later on in the game. I would love for like life to kind of smack this young Sherlock Holmes in the face a little bit in terms of like the assumptions he's making about people. But I don't think that has occurred at all yet. He's just been like kind of a cocky bitch about a couple of people, and it hasn't really been challenged at all. Exactly. How is your main character supposed to have any growth if they don't have those moments? If you just want them to be like, if you want them to grow at all, maybe they don't. I don't know. It comes down to the writing, And I don't know how far we are in the game, because it's really hard to gauge because the mechanics aren't intuitive. So, I feel like I've barely done anything in the game. Aside from side quests, I've done a bunch of side quests. But like when it comes to the main game, I feel like I've barely done anything because I keep hitting walls with like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? And then I give up and I go do something else, which I don't think is the intention of Frogwares. I don't think that they were hoping that the players do that. So yeah. So those are my feelings on Sherlock Holmes right now. Would I recommend it as a game? If you're like me and you play every Sherlock Holmes game, you'll probably enjoy it anyway. Like I said, I'm actually really enjoying all of the side shit. I think the side shit's really fun. It's the best part of the game. I think that the variety of ways that you can like find new cases to go for is fun. Maybe wait till it's on sale. I don't know. The game has been updated every single day since I bought it. Just telling me they're like furiously patching shit. Yeah, you know, who knows? But yeah, it seems like people have enjoyed watching it enough that I'll probably continue playing it next week. If it takes me longer, then because obviously I'll be taking like Thursday off and stuff for Thanksgiving. But yeah, if we're still playing it Friday of next week and we don't know how much more time there is in the game, I'll probably move on to another game and just finish it on my own. So. Is it a good sign to have daily patches? I would say that it's a sign that they are trying to fix things, which means either they knew that stuff needed to be fixed when they put it out, which is most likely the case, or people are giving feedback and they're listening to it. So. Oh no, can I say if you plan to play a Nancy Drew game, do not play the newest one. The old team of devs got fired or left and it was a train wreck of a game. Oh no! I laughed a lot during this playthrough so far. A lot of good moments. I'm glad. Yeah, we'll see what we're doing by the end of next week. If it's not done, but it seems like we're basically at the end, then sure. Okay, let's start wrapping up so I can go hang out with my family. Thank you all so much for watching today. Sadly, yeah, Misdemeanor canceled again. Winter said, whoever decided John needed an ice cream vendor costume in that Sherlock game, the image of John lounging on Sherlock's bed is living rent-free in my head and it won't leave. I love that John just lounges basically everywhere. Everywhere you go, he's just like, what's up? What are you doing? What you up to? It's very good. Okie dokie. Artichokey. Let's see. Philip Cav, thank you for the 63 months. Leandro for the 3 years. Happy anniversary. Thank you so much for all of the support. Sparky Munchkin for the 34. Strikers for the 41. Ezra Annie for the 25. Lady Aprilla, thank you for the 3. Henry for the 18. Rinbren for the 47. Jahome for the 1 year. Happy anniversary. Thank you very much for the support. Zico for the 71, Difficult Deb for the 38, Undisputed Champion for the 49, Some Silent Irony for the 35, So Bad at Games for the 34, Springfart for the gifted sub, Sir Dread for the 35, Call Me Fletch for the 9, Happy Twitch Baby, Mighty Metal for the 51, Ardark for the 64, Dark Shadow for the 61, Weird Uncle Jay for the gifted sub, Zen Christian for the 34, Lamplight Blue for the 1 year as well. Happy anniversary. Thank you very, very much. 02 for the 56, Make Some Time for the 65, Russell for the 2, Code Dark, again, welcome to the cat gang, thank you so much. Just Jessica and Wooka, thank you very much for the gifted subs. Sexy Rumpus for the 3, Zenzia for the 55, Chase Lazuli for the 33, Max L Silver for the 6, K11 Pause for the 42, Torgrick for the 61, Socatrine for the 35, Sim for the 1 year, happy anniversary, thank you very much. And Arnar, thank you for the gifted subs. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. We had no raid leader, so who's streaming right now? Da, 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 da. Since we were talking about Pokemon, RT is playing Pokemon right now. Let's go say hi to RT game. Great. I will see you guys tomorrow for Godforged or on Monday for our normal stream. Okay? Take care, everybody. Have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.